It was my privilege to meet Starr Fuentes a little over a year ago and see the place where she has her center and where a lot of people go for their training. Of course, in addition to that, she travels about 200 days out of the year with her gifts, skills, and teaching ability. This is the first time she's appeared for Global Sciences in Denver. You have read about her in the program. I do not want to insult your intelligence to read it over to you, but we are pleased to have Starr Fuentes from Navasota, Texas, with us, so give her a warm Denver Global Sciences welcome.
Thank you, Dean. Are you ready? Let's wake up. We've had those 2 hours to digest those food. Let's start doing some work with energy. Let's start doing something that moves our energy, and let's start getting some tools that we can use right now. We don't have to wait till we get home to use them. So, I lived in Mexico in a beautiful 8-foot round palapa hut with no refrigerator, an outhouse, and a river to bathe in. I studied with the Mayan and Aztec curanderas, and that word means to care for the energies. When the egg-headed archaeologists and anthropologists went down there and said to the curanderos, "Oh, what's your path?" And they said, "Our path is the way of nature." And they misnamed it the green path, thinking that nature meant herbs, thinking that nature meant the earth. But what nature meant was the way the energy was naturally shaped, naturally created. So you have the red path, the Native American path, and the supposed green path, the curandera path. So as I studied with these curanderos, they taught me a couple of things. They taught me how to heal very quickly, instantly, and they taught me to use a sacred geometry called light language. And it never ceases to amaze my egg-headed Mensa mind that in the mind of an indigenous shaman who's never went to school is this vast array of energy work in quantum physics. You know, you talk to somebody who heals people with their hands, hands out herbs, and does prayers and blessing on something, and they start talking to you about the 80 polyhedra, platonic solids, and the speed of light, you kind of scratch your head and go, how does this woman know this? Well, there's a story that 22 generations ago, a man fell from the sky, and they say the word man with a weird accent on it, and that this person taught them this sacred geometry. And at home, I have a list of the names of each of the teachers who passed down this lineage of sacred geometry. Now, I don't really want you to go live in a stick hut in Mexico to do this or to learn this, so we're going to start learning this right now, right here, and my class tonight will continue with that. So, back a long time ago was another genius. His name was Plato. And Plato looked around at the energy and the nature of things, and he says, "You know what I think? I think that the elements are all these shapes. There are 5 shapes. There are a dodecahedron and an icosahedron and a cube and a pyramid, and I think that all elements are this." And all the philosophers scratched their head and said, "Gee, Plato, I mean, we know there are units very, very small, but, you know, because you're Plato, we're going to teach the platonic solids." Oh, way back in 1940, we get the electron microscope, and lo and behold, and we look at a carbon atom, and it's a dodecahedron. And lo and behold, we look at another element. And most of the basic elements are platonic solids. If you look in the chart, you'll see the initials in the middle, something in the top box, 2 corners, something in the bottom 2 corners. Right in the middle down there will be listed the platonic solids. Now, how do these people know these things? They can't see, but could they see? So we're going to start very, very simple. We're going to start with 7 colors. Now, the 7 colors we're going to start with are the chakra colors. Praying very silently. How many people in this room do not know what a chakra is? Thank God, everybody knows what a chakra is. All right, so we're going to work with sacred geometry shapes in 7 colors. Those are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, slight change here, purple, and white. So let's start with the cube. I want you to imagine a cube. A cube is very solid. You stick something in a box and you kick that box and it doesn't go very far. When you're in your life and you just got an idea, you just got a healing, you're going to put yourself in an energetic cube. Why? Because things coming from spirit down to your body to solidify in the material plane. So in other words, if you want a healing to change your body, it has to come through the spirit, down into earth, and change it. You will put yourself, after your healing, in a green cube. Why green? Heart energy, combined spirit, and earth, green cube. Now everybody put themselves in a green cube. Feel that, oh, green healing energy. Good. Feel the air. Feel how silent and sacred it can get. Okay, sphere, 360 degrees of choices. When you can't make a choice or you're stuck, you put yourself in the center of a sphere. Every choice, every possibility is equal distance away from you. Imagine a red sphere. Go! Red is hot. Red is an active color. It moves, red sphere. Put yourself in a red sphere. Red sphere, many choices, faster, the blood pumping. Ooh. Now, what has happened? You're a little hotter. Something's going on. So each sacred geometry in itself and in the color that it is creates an energy around you in your subtle bodies. Once you bring that energy into your material plane, you will receive what the color and the shape do, and you will receive much more. Because when you resonate with green, you get healing, you get new growth, you get cash. Ooh, that's a good one. You get healing, new growth, you get cash, you get centeredness, and green vibrations attract what color vibrations? Green vibrations. So, red makes you move. It's a color of action. It's a color of activity. Orange is a color of co-creation. It's working with somebody else. Orange is the color where you, when you're having sex, you turn orange. Interesting. So, oh, that's right. If you want to have, how many people would like a significant other or a mate in this room? Raise your hand. I got a secret for you. Wear something orange on your second chakra. Buy some orange lingerie. Orange is the color of co-creation. It attracts being in relationship. Orange is the place where things from ideas start manifesting in the physical plane. And the color orange, a baby is created and born. Yellow is the color of clarity. It makes you clear. It's a color of empowerment. It's the solar plexus. A lot of us get energetic messages in our solar plexus. So as we work with the color yellow, we clear up. Let's say, for example, how many people lose their glasses or their car keys? Okay, when you hold your car keys or your glasses in your hand, if you put a yellow pyramid outside of your glasses and set them down, you will be able to find them pretty quickly. Anytime you want to be clear on what is to be done and what you have done, you will use the color yellow. The heart color we've gone through. Blue is the color of communication. It lets you speak and communicate not only in your voice, but in your action. It is the color of revitalization. It helps you bring new energies into the body. It is the color of flow. You know, how when sometimes you don't say something to somebody and you're kind of stuck, and then once you say it, that great big sigh of release that comes over your body, that breath release after you get it off your chest, blue allows us to do this. Since all light language and sacred geometry flows on the indigo wave, we use purple. And purple is the color of higher wisdom. Purple is the color of spiritual intuition. And with purple, we get to know and see things. Purple is very sacred color. It brings things to our attention. It brings the higher forces inside of our body and heart. And then white is the color of enlightenment and wisdom. So sometimes when somebody is not being such a nice person, you may surround them in a pyramid. We haven't talked about pyramids, but pyramids integrate. Have you ever seen a pyramid form and you've taken a rusty old razor blade, thrown it in there for 2 or 3 days, a razor blade will sharpen. Take a bite out of an apple, you throw it in the pyramid and take a bite out of another apple and leave it out on the table, one apple will turn brown, but the apple in the pyramid will be perfectly white. So when you don't understand why something's happened, you have a judgment saying, "Ooh, I don't want to be with that person." I automatically put that action, that energy, that person into a purple pyramid. So I can understand it takes all sorts of lessons for all of us to evolve. So what happens is with the light language, it evolves to a place where there's 7 shapes, one for each one of your chakras. Most of us look like a Chianti bottle with gobs of wax on us, because here, here our mother rejected us, and over here, we got into that something or other, and we added all that information, and there's a big nick out of it here when our significant other left us. And as your energetic body is, that's the vibrations it attracts. That's the vibrations it attracts. So basically, during our life, we've added good things, not so good things, emotional blocks, insights, wisdom to our aura, and our aura is sort of clumpy and bumpy. When you use sacred geometry to strengthen, and mold and shape your aura, then whatever you resonate with, you come in attunement quicker. So what does that mean? You think about somebody's name and the phone rings. Sometimes. When your body gets in better alignment, it happens more. You think, "I want this," or you say, "God, show me the way." What happens? It happens this quicker because, like a piano, you start becoming attuned to the natural vibrations and frequencies. And that is what the curanderos meant when they studied the nature of things. They did not mean uño de gato or any of the herbs like that. So in the first part of light language, which we'll be doing tonight, and you'll get this book. It's a $16 book. You'll get this in your class tonight. We will be remolding your aura. In fact, you will be remolding your aura, working with some of these shapes. So we'll be doing that tonight. And the basic 7 chakras, shaping them up, make a wonderful difference in your life. Now, please remember, if you've had an operation, if you've been ill, if you've had a divorce, if you've been stressed out, one of your chakras probably has had a big nick taken out of it. Has, let's say the piano string got tuned a little too tight, or loose. So when you get your subtle bodies in alignment, you will be having more results gently, easily, and quickly. Take a deep breath. Now, the second step in light language is a grid of 49. In the grid of 49, there are 7 shapes, and 27 colors and 7 lines that work with the subtle chakras and the chakras in each body. So when we have a disease like asthma, we create this 49-shaped grid for a person that gives them back the vibrations in their body that asthmatic people do not have. And we write the grid out, and as you think light language, and since light language is at the speed of light, they're already automatically receiving these 49 shapes. Some people, they work with them for 2-3 days, and they have wonderful healings. Some people have them up for a month. Any non-chronic, and we have 262 diseases in the intermediate book that was taught by me by a curandera lady named Esperanza, in the intermediate book that you can give to your friends, that you can emanate. For example, since light language works at light speed, and your subconscious and unconscious mind can absorb 10,000 facts per minute, and your conscious mind absorbs 5 plus or minus 4, it comes. So you can think about one thing for a whole minute. If we took this beautiful lady dressed in green and we waltzed her down Fifth Avenue in New York, and we went by F.A.O. Schwartz, the big old toy store, and Tiffany's, and I took her back to my apartment in New York. I said, "What did you see?" She said, "An 18-foot teddy bear and F.A.O. Schwartz and some blue necklace in Tiffany's window." And if we hypnotized her, not only would she be able to tell us everything in the windows, but if her vision was 2200 and she physically couldn't see the price tags, her subconscious, unconscious mind would know what those price tags said in the window. So we go through our life studying a lot, and we study in 2 manners. The first manner is a taught teaching, and I get up here and I go, yada, 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 da, da, read my books, yada, yada. And that's a taught teaching, and that's taken in through the mind, through the ears, through the eyes. A caught teaching is when you sit in the presence of a master, and the master emanates the knowledge in their presence. And that's why in India, we have darshan people go sit with the masters, and why sometimes you guys feel so good after being in the presence of someone who knows a whole bunch about a certain topic. What happens is when you sit in the presence of someone who knows light language, that long grid for arthritis becomes into your subconscious, unconscious body, and the next time you think the word arthritis, and the arthritis grid comes automatically out of you. So, who's got something that needs healing? Nobody? Okay, then we'll skip it. Yes, you. Come up here, please. And so I'm going to use a light language grid on here. Here, honey, jump up here, Josie. Okay, Josie, what would you like healed?
I would like my thyroid healed, my neck, and my back.
Choose one. This is not Burger King. You can't have it your way.
Well, well, thyroid and neck, they're all kind of connected anyway.
Okay, so could you do me a favor? Could you just roll your neck and tell me the level of stress in the neck right now?
I can feel it when I go back.
Okay.
I should be going much further down this way, according to the chiropractor.
Good for you. Everybody take a deep breath. Now move your neck. What's different?
A little less when I go back.
A little less when you go back. Now this time you guys got to help me, okay? Everybody take a deep breath. Now move your head back. More. Stop. How does that feel?
Well, I'll have to see what the x-ray says.
Oh, I didn't ask what the x-ray said. I said, how does that feel?
It feels like I'm not, what I'm trying to do is avoid the horrible pain that other people have, and I know
Okay.
what my x-ray has shown.
So your x-ray may still not show this healed, but I am definitely seeing more movement
Oh, good.
in you. And are you feeling the more
Should be
movement?
getting down to the shoulder here.
Uh-huh. Let's just work. Everybody take a deep breath with me. We're just going to work this just a little bit more. Now tilt this way, baby cakes. That's it. Ooh, okay. Now move your neck. Take a deep breath. And I'm seeing about, what, 10, 15% more movement? Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, so we had a little bit. I want, Josie, step down here for a second.
With an obvious something like a headache. Right?
I want something with something obvious that we can feel it. Somebody got a lump or a bump. Okay, look at me. The whole room's sitting there, white-faced, looking at me. I want to teach you guys how to do quick, fast healing. The room's sitting there. Wake up, people. You watch me do this. You have the possibility of you doing it yourself. Come up here. So basically, what I'm going to do is work on this little girl. I want to work on the little girl first. Come on. Yo, baby cakes, good looking with the purple skirt. Can't read the name tags that far. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of the grid for the cartilage in the knees. So I'm going to take my hands. Now feel how your knees feel, because I'm going to, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do they feel like?
I would say a 9.
That bad? Mm-hmm. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Worse than that one.
On a scale of 1 to 10, they're a 9. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. And we're going to use humor with this lady. And everybody say, ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Now bend your knee. And get up, bend your knee again. And how much difference is there?
I would say it's about 4.
It's a 4. A round of applause for the lady. Okay. Wait. Everybody say, ooh, baby. And bend both your knees and tell me the difference. Where is it?
This one is like 1, and this one is still about the same.
Okay, you got a 1 on that one from a 9 and a 4 on this one from a 9. A round of applause for the lady. Thank you very much. Here, gently. So as you are seeing that what happens with light language is that most of us walk around with a little teeny connection to source, and we work on feeding the quality and quantity of that energy. And when you start using light language in some of the Mayan techniques, you start running a conduit that is 2 lane highway size to source, so that the healing energy comes this fast. When you study the grid shapes that are the diseases, non-chronic diseases, the 49 shapes, you study the grid, you see it once, turn to the page of the book, you see it once, 2 years later, you walk into some place and somebody says, oh, I got a liver pain. You put your hand on the liver and you say, liver grid, and your subconscious, unconscious mind supplies the sacred geometry because it memorizes 10,000 facts a minute. I would never ask people to memorize the 49 shapes of a liver grid in their conscious mind. Now I'm going to do one more person, and we're going to talk about a 144 shape grid. In the 144 shape grid, there are 80 polyhedra, which you can choose 144 colors from. It's kind of complex. The handout for the class is 1,000 pages. So, yeah, by the time you define the colors and each shape and put them together, and these grids work with cancer. They work with anything that could possibly kill you. They work with cancer. They work with chronic disease. So who has a chronic disease in the audience and is still alive? Oh. And nobody has a, how come, in 1971 I used to teach healing classes, and I'd go into cities, there'd be 100 people in class, 99 people would be sick, and I'd have 1 healer. I teach healing classes now, and I have 99 healers and 1 sick person. Come on down, baby cakes. Okay, you got something we can track a little bit here. There you go. All right, now I'm going to be using some more Mayan energies. And Janet, honey, jump up here.
Oh, here, let me give this.
I'll put this right here for you.
Okay.
Okay, Janet, what's going on?
Really, what's going on?
Well,
I
no,
have a
make something up
mass.
easy, like a headache for me.
You want a headache?
No, I don't want a headache.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the truth. I got a mass right here.
Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is just turn around and I want you to feel the density of the mass. Can you feel it? Feel it good?
I never feel it. It doesn't even bother me.
And how can we know if it's gone? How am I supposed to impress this audience if we can't feel it? What am I going to do?
I'll tell you.
She'll tell us by the
I will
energy.
tell you.
Okay, take a deep breath, everybody. A deep breath, and what you're going to say, is the tumor grid. In your psychic mind, everybody think tumor grid, so it can amplify the ones I'm
God,
thinking.
It's really coming.
And breathe, the audience.
Thank you.
So, how is it?
It's wonderful.
Look,
Here
breathe.
comes the tears.
Breathe! Breathe. This is you guys. Breathe and rejoice. Let's anchor that with the celebration. Clap, clap, smile, smile, clap, clap, smile, smile. Okay, thank you. Now, you know what? Come see me tomorrow just to make sure that it didn't go back, and I want to talk about your original cause, why it got there, so it doesn't come back. So hold on a second. Just
Okay.
hold on a second.
I have
Here's
to
a
get
beautiful piece of jewelry.
Thank you. It's way over 200 years old, my great-grandmother.
God bless it. So as you can see, something kind of miraculous can happen using light language. Now let me be very honest with you people. 70% of the time, zero, zilch, nothing happens. This person has a soul contract. This person has a lesson. This person has something festering inside them, collecting energies. When you go to heal a person, you have to deal with one of two things, and whatever your words may be for this, it's core issue, original cause. I had a lady friend come to my house. She had a tumor the size of a grapefruit. Her name was Pepper. Pepper had short-cut hair. Pepper had flannel shirts, blue jeans, steel-toed boots. And I says, Pepper, if cancer is a verb, what is cancering you? She says, Storr. I'd rather die than let my mother know I'm a lesbian. I says, Pepper, if she takes one look at you, she knows you're a lesbian. Pepper says, no, my mother's from the backwoods. She doesn't know anything. So I worked on her with Kevin and Russell and a couple of other people, and we worked on her, and the tumor disappeared. I took her little girlfriend aside. I said to her, now, Vicki, I want to make sure that Pepper tells her mother of her sexual preference and her social situation. Her little girlfriend says, okay, Starr, we'll do that. 8 months go by, I get a phone call. Pepper says, Starr, this is Pepper, I got a brain tumor. I go, Pepper, get your butt up here and bring your girlfriend. Pepper comes on up, I work on the brain tumor, and I put my hands on it, and I'm doing the grid, and God's Spirit blesses me with the choice where I throw up. I literally throw up her brain tumor. And I pass out, lay on the floor for a few minutes. My staff just covers me up and continues doing their thing. And I took Pepper and the little girl aside, and I says, Pepper, you have not told your mother. She goes, well, if it break my mother's heart, they did. And I says, Pepper, would you rather have your mother know, or would you rather die? She says, well, I guess I'd rather have my mother know. 6 months later, I get a phone call from a little girl. She says, Pepper's dead. And I said, did she ever tell her mother? Did you ever tell her mother? No. So in healing, you have to understand there's that 1 second, there's that one moment when we make a decision, when we resist somebody, when that energy does not get to flow through us, where it starts festering and it starts gathering other energies, and it can become a stroke, a heart attack, cancer, melanoma, it can become anything. And if you heal people, you usually have to work on the original cause. Now, what I love about coming to conventions like this is most of you have already done your work. You've done emotional work. You've seen thousands of therapists, read hundreds of books, bought thousands of dollars worth of equipment. and you've worked on yourself over and over again, and your body may not know how to let go of the tumor. So people like me and yes, you with a big golden aura, we can touch you and we can pray for you, and your body instantly lets go of your illness because you guys have done the work. The lady who was just up here with the mass in her chest, she's done a lot of work. One of the reasons we could move that mass with light language, with using sacred geometry, is because she's done her work. Do not expect any disease using sacred geometry, using whatever energy possible to disappear unless you're doing your work. Like my teacher says, she says, Starr, you're like a conduit in the Coca-Cola between God and your client. I'm a drinking straw. When you use these healing techniques, you're just a flow for the energy. But the client has to work as hard as you, had worked harder than you, or is working equally hard as you are at the moment. So that's why I love light language, because light language appears to be real, miraculous. We resonate somebody. It changes their vibration. It creates a space and a place for the physical plane to change. Thank you. It creates a space and a place. No, I was telling the lady 25 minutes. So thank you. It's a place. So I would also like to work on some other things. For example, with light language, you can work on your cash issues. You can work on why aren't you attracting a mate. You can work on anything and everything under the sun. When I was taught to use this, I kind of like the philosophy of the curanderas. If I was to do a grid for this beautiful lady in the yellow and blue checked shirt, if I was to sit down and do a prayer for her, I am also, by the tradition, asked to pray for a God form, which might be all women who are raising their children singly, the people starving in Africa. Every time you do a piece of work for one humanoid, you do a piece of energy work for a mass. So if I do something on myself, I might do sexually abused children. If I do something on her, I might do all the people who've lost their parents in this last year. And when you work with light language, it's not only about helping the individuals, it's about every time you do something for mass consciousness. You work on that. So that's always kind of fun. Sometimes you go, oh my God, I got to do two for the price of one. But sometimes having that knowledge, that's important. So we will do the beginning grid in class tonight. You will get a book with that. We will explain basically the 49 shapes and how that works. And I don't think I can, in the very little time I have tonight, even begin to touch on what a master grid 80 polyhedra, and that is the Platonic solids, the Johnson solids, and the Archimedean solids, shapes that occur in nature with equal sides and in special angles. I can't even begin to touch on that. I just wanted to give you a small demonstration. When you mold and form and shape energy, what can happen and how quickly it can happen for someone. So everybody take a deep breath. I want to pick on somebody. Who needs something in their life right now? Who needs something real big? Who needs, the lady who started coming up, the one in the blue jacket right there. Yeah? And then the other lady in the blue jacket right after that. Hi, Phyllis, what's up?
I was going to show you the bone structure that's changing on my ear.
You're going to make me do it, aren't you? Hold on to my hand, because I just need a little support. Everybody take a deep breath. Now there's a big old bone bump back here. You know what it feels like, don't you? Everybody take a deep breath And she's got a pretty good sense of humor, so we're going to be a little bit more serious on her. Take a deep breath, take a deep breath, take another deep breath. Now feel the back of it and tell me if it's flatter. You know what, Phyllis? That's about a 24-minute job for me. So during my lunch hour, during my dinner hour, you come along and I'm going to rub, 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 rub. And maybe I'll say coochie, coochie, coo. Because I learned one thing about being a healer, that whenever you add humor, it anchors in there so much more. And I'm going to rub the back of that, and we're going to get rid of that for you. So thank you, Phyllis.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right. So that is a little bit of what light language does. And the other lady who was coming, take a deep breath, everybody. And this is Ginger. Ginger, what's your problem, honey?
Well, I seem to be degressing, getting worse, where my hands are hurting, my feet are hurting. It's the same place on my feet it is in my hand. My knees are getting into this. I'm getting to the point where I get dizzy when I walk. Coming up here, I feel out of breath.
Okay, give me your right hand. I want you to feel the energy in your right hand on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best and 1 being the worst. Where's the energy?
4.
The energy is 4. Now notice she's real serious. She's a real serious lady. So we might say, I don't know, maybe, what do you think about sex? How about chocolate? Ooh, Godiva chocolate.
Now we can talk about something I can talk about.
I just wanted to do a pattern interrupt, and what a pattern interrupt does is get people out of the place where they think it's impossible. And if you talk about sex or chocolate, you're bound to, or cash, you're bound to get, you're bound to get some healing difference. Now, bend your hand on a scale of 1 to 10. What was it before?
Well, tell me what the 1 and the 10 are again.
1's the worst and 10's the best. And now where is it?
It feels like it's an 8.
Rejoice! When she hears that, her mind keeps that.
Thank you.
Ginger, I'm going to be here for a couple of days. Come over, well, especially when I'm not eating, but sitting and gossiping and BSing with my friends, and stick a hand in my face. So I'll come over and work on you, okay? Yeah. Be a little bit more careful when you come with your feet. Yes! Come up here. Come up here.
I wanted to know why you were manifesting a man, but I don't want just any man.
What kind of man do you want?
One that's for me.
Okay, listen up, people. Listen up. I'm taking a look and a scan at this woman. She's got a great heart. She's a great catch. She's wonderful. She's got a great...
Best.
Well, almost. But she's very good at what she does. But here in her orange region, in the second chakra region, there it looks like somebody took a mud ball and went plat.
They did.
Now, see, they did. Okay, so now what I am going to do, turn them around so the audience can't see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that brown out of her orange chakra. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's a little scary, a little funny.
Do you manifest him out of the ceiling or what?
Look, darling, I clear the energy. You have to go in public, and your angels and guides have to bring them to you.
I see.
Now, let me tell you something about having a pure orange chakra. Both men and women will make passes at you in the next 30 days.
Really? Both?
That was a joke.
Oh.
Okay, now turn around, face the audience. And how men find this woman spiritually, emotionally, and mentally desirable? Stand up and yell hooray. Alrighty.
How much did she pay you guys?
Honey, how did I even know you were coming up? So I didn't get to pay these guys. But what has happened is that the tie you had with the person who dirtied you and muddied you is now released and gone. And within the next 28 days, somebody's going to make a cool pass at you. And by the way, gentlemen, if you feel like making a pass at her, feel free to do so in the next
I
day or
have
so.
some nieces and nephews who say
No,
I'm so blind I can't even see them.
You can just, you know what? Maybe now that that mud is gone, you can see them. Take a round of applause for the wonderful lady. A round of applause for the wonderful lady. All right, so as you can see, being a healer, and I've studied in 13 different countries with an African shaman. I've been in India and in China and Indonesia and Korea and South America, living with these crazy shamans who wave sticks around, breathe on people, people fall over, all of these wonderful things. And for me, the most efficient, the strongest and gentlest is the teachings of the curanderas, where the light language, the sacred geometry, or their pure dynamic force healings. So let's see. I want this beautiful lady over here, you up front center stage, and this gorgeous man in this Tommy Banana shirt. Come on up here.
Yeah.
Up. Wait, I didn't clear your chakra. Would you please stand back there? And I'd like to work. Well, we're going to come back here a little bit. I want you to stand facing me this way. And this is a technique called the breath of God. This is a technique where you literally reach up to Holy Spirit, you breathe in the Holy Spirit, you blow it out through your lungs. I'm going to ask this beautiful Connie Patterson, where would you like your healing?
Bladder.
Bladder. Oh, I knew there was a reason why I got you up here. And okay, Connie Patterson, where would you like that healing? One more time. She's a little resistant to it, but maybe. Back. Of course. And a ground her again. Connie, what's in your way of healing your bladder? Oh, shh. I'm supposed to be the healer. But that's a very good point. Now that you said it, psychically, silently release what you're PO'd about. Take a deep breath again. Now, something's going to happen to her. While she's laying in this guy's arms, her eyes are going to go like this, blank, 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 blank. She's going to go into REM state. The old pattern of her healthy body and the new pattern of her unhealthy body are laid one on top of each other, boom, and they're reorganizing themselves. And sometimes your clients will stay there for 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes your clients will be done in a second. Sometimes they'll be done in 2 minutes. I've had people with chronic diseases be out for 3 or 4 hours. It's a very, very powerful technique, and this would be the type of technique you would learn when you come and study with me, when you come and study something I call divine intervention. What I do is a mind technique where I put my hand on the tumor disappears, or it falls out on the floor. I have an 8-minute video, and maybe tomorrow Dean will play for you some of the junk and gunk that has fallen out of people's bodies. I have 8 minutes of little pieces of tumor and stuff coming out of people's bodies. And this is a Mayan technique. How do you feel now?
A little warm.
A little warm. Well, take some clothes off, please.
Righty then.
All right. Thank you, sir. One of the things about being a healer, one of the things about being a light worker, one of the things about being whatever you are, all of you, bringing in wide, good, beautiful, harmonious, contributing to community, is that as you contribute to community and you say, oh God, let me be the best healer on earth, you are not showered in gold coins and healing energy. You know what happens? All your shit comes up because everything I like being the best light worker Everything unlike being the best community worker. Everything unlike lighting you comes up. So when you kneel down and when you're in your playing with your tools and you are praying, and sometimes an action is a prayer. Moving your hand, lighting an instrument, that's a prayer. When you are praying for the health of your own clients, for the wisdom, for the connection to source, you are getting tremendous healings yourself. You're getting it. In Mexico, the curanderos have a tradition that says every step is a prayer. Every movement of my hand is a prayer. And people walk around all their life without dedicating their energy. So we're going to spend a minute doing a Mayan technique. And basically, you do this in your head. I don't want anybody writing anything down. You choose a quality that you need more of in your life. And we're going to start by saying psychically, silently in our head. Each step I take brings more blank into my life. Each step you take. Good. We're moving quicker. Each breath that I breathe brings more blank into my life. Faster, people, you're thinking too slow. Next, each heartbeat, thousands and thousands of heartbeats a day. Each heartbeat brings more blank into my life. Every word I speak brings more blank into my life. Now stop. Once you've dedicated these things from this moment forward until you change that, every step could be progress, every step could be gratitude, every step could be love. I don't care what you put in there. Every movement that you make brings in blank into your life. You go home, you take a list of paper. Every time I sleep, I get revitalization or I get recharged. It brings new energy into my life. You take a sheet of paper and as many action things every time I sit my butt on the chair. Well, don't put butt in there. Every time I sit down on a chair, it brings X. And you will dedicate every movement that you make. So guess what? No more flat tires. No more lost keys. All of those things that sometimes happen to us that are not big lessons happen because we've been walking, talking, sleeping, heart beating with those energies not dedicated any place. That's a very important thing. And the prayers of the Mayans is they dedicate every energy. All right, I have a few more minutes. Does anybody have any questions about light language? Take a deep breath. Sir, yes. Well, let me tell you about money. Money is this diamond ring. Money is my house. And you know what I assume you want? You want more cash, like $100 bills. So you can work on money issues and someone's going to give you a used car. You can work on money issues and somebody's going to give you their refrigerator. You will get things that are worth money. I like you to work on your cash issues so you have a bunch of Benjamin Franklins rolled up in your wallet. Big difference. Yes, we can work on cash with light language. You can work on any energy there is with some rules and with some regulations on how these energies fit. Yes, ma'am.
You hold it. We'll get the mic here so everybody hear the who's got a question. Mike, go over there in the center. Mike will be in the center. I'll be over here, and then we've got the other mic on the far side. Please get to a microphone for your questions.
I got it. Let me know when it's 2.
I want to know if the light energy can bring me more patience. Patience is a virtue, I know, but I'm always impatient to get everything done. Go, 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 go,
Honey,
go.
when you take that class and there's 80 shapes and 144 colors and you have 144 slots to fill, you will become patient. It will take you 3 days to do one of those big grids. I'm going to tell you this. Yes, there is a grid for patience. And the amount you surrender in this grid, the more quickly you get patience. Thank you. One more. Over there.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you. Is there any way that, what's the best way for me to use this to heal somebody else of a very serious birth defect?
Okay. If it's a chronic disease, then you will say the person's name, month, day, year of birth, and the name of the grid, breast cancer grid, MS grid. And you will say this 3-4 times a night, especially when you know the person is sleeping. You might say this if they're wired, oppositely wired, you'll say this when they're awake. All you have to do is see the grids once, which everybody gets a chance to do in class. See all the grids for all the diseases once, and then all you have to do is say the name of the grid because it's stored in your subconscious, unconscious mind. I'd like a raise of hands. How many people in this audience have studied light language with me? Raise of hands. Great. Where's Mary Beth Smith? Stand up. Mary Beth Smith is a light language teacher. If you cannot get light language from me, you can get light language class from her. Everybody who's a light language practitioner, stand up in the audience. And you can stand up. You guys paid all this money to take these classes with me and you can't remember? Okay, all these people can write grids for you. Remember, we're going to rewrite our personal grid tonight in my class. You're going to get this $16 book included in your $20 class. And it's tonight wherever they assign me. I'd like a round of applause for Dean for bringing me here. And I would love a huge round of applause for myself. Namaste. 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 Thank you. See you at class.